So we've got this 2010 Renault Kangoo in. The customer's currently got one key here, and we're just giving them a replacement key, which is just this one here. These have got a removable blade at the back, so you can take the screw out here and then pull the blade out. So there's a little screw just there. You remove that screw and the blade just simply slides out. Then we can slide that new blade, the customer's blade, into this key, and it's a good way in doing it. We can do the programming on both the keys without the need to cut a key. If everything goes fine, then what we'll do, we'll cut a replacement blade. So yeah, that's the blade we're going to swap over. To program it in, we're going to be using the Autel IM508. So what we do, we go over to the search and search for Renault. Usually start with the program key, that's the best way to do it. So we'll start with the program key into the ignition. So it's going to pop that blade into there. And switch the ignition on. Go on automatic selection. So what that does is you can read the VIN number from the vehicle. That's what the tool will do. Read the VIN number, which is this, then press OK. It'll decode the VIN number and work out what make, and model and year it is, which is a Renault Kangoo year and the VIN number. So press yes, because them details are correct. What that will then do is take us through to the menus for this vehicle. You've got different options here: immobilizer, scan, control module, and hot function. This is just information about the programming on this vehicle. Hot function is just to go straight in and do one job, like program a key or program the immobilizer or something else. This is to go into the immobilizer itself, but the recommended step on this menu on all vehicles is always to do the immo scan, status scan. What this does is check for faults and show you all possible options. So it's communicating with the vehicle just now. So it's found 2 faults on the UCH module, which is like the body computer. Recognised keys is 1, so there's one recognised key, which is this one, and what we're going to do is program in this one. So someone previously tried to program to this vehicle and couldn't do it. So yeah, it says the actual ECM is unlearned, which it should say learnt, and the UCH is learnt, which that's as it should be. So what we're going to do is look at the bottom here. We can look at the fault codes. We can delete the fault codes. If you want to look at them, you press that blue arrow there. If you want to erase them, you just press erase, and that might be the previous programming attempt. So that's been deleted and then faults are gone. Always clear the faults from the system before you try and add any keys. So the report will show you if there's any faults. Add a key guided, we'll add a key. All keys lost will delete all keys and program the ones you've got back. Where add a key will add on top of what's already there. Immo learning is to learn the immobilizer ECU or the body control module to the vehicle, and vehicle information is just gives you the vehicle information. So what we want to do is add a key guided. So it's going to guide us through adding a key. So first step is function initialization. Then it's going to read the pin, program the key, and that's it. So 3 simple steps. So first step is to initialize communication. So we're going to do that. So switch on hazards and switch ignition off. Open and close driver's door once. So what we're going to do is switch the hazards on. Switch the ignition off. And then we're going to start with the door closed, and we're going to open it and close it again, and then press OK. So keys not available will be deleted. Do you want to continue? So what that means is any keys that we don't present to it will be deleted. So we need to present the working key and the key we want to add. So we want to continue. So that's yes. It says make sure battery voltage is above 13 volts. So as you can see, we've got 12.42 voltage. So we're going to get it connected up to the battery support unit, which is just over there in the workshop. Get it connected up to the battery support, and we should get that voltage up. So it's just, if it does say that, it does mean that it's quite critical that the voltage stays sort of above 12.5, 13 volts. So pause the video there and get the battery support unit connected up. So we've got it connected up to the battery support. It's giving out sort of 12.2, 12.3 voltage naturally. So we're going to put it on support mode. Just going to bump it up to 13.6 voltage. So that's going to keep the voltage good on the vehicle. It's all connected up to the battery. As you probably can hear in the background, the battery support units come on, supplying voltage to the system. So now we're at 13.12, which is above the recommended 13 volts. You close the door again because it wanted the door closed, and press OK. So we've got the pin code. Insert key into switch. Switch ignition on, maximum 2 keys allowed. So what we're going to do is it's saying that the maximum amount of keys you can add is 2. Insert key and switch ignition on. So the key's in the ignition, but it's not switched on. So we're going to switch the ignition on now and press OK. So that's adding the key. So key programming successful. Do you want to program more keys? And we do. We want to program more, so we're going to press yes. It says remove key, insert next key and turn ignition on. So we're going to take the key out of the ignition. Remember, we ain't cut a blade for the other one, so we're just going to pull out the customer's original blade, slide that into the new one, and if all's well at the end, then we can cut a key. If you've got the option of doing this, it's always good. Saves cutting the key in case anything went wrong, like it won't program, then we're not wasted the blade. So that's the new key that doesn't work for the vehicle at the moment. So we're going to program this to the vehicle. So we're going to put that in the ignition, and as it says here, insert key and turn ignition on. So turn ignition on. So that's ignition on. Now we're going to press OK. So what that's doing now is reading the information and writing the information to the system and adding the second key in. It's really important that you do have access to a battery support unit. Without that, it won't make it possible. So programming successful. Do you want to program more keys? So we don't want to program any more, so we're going to press no. So it says number of keys now programmed is 2. Cycle key, start ignition to complete procedure. So we're going to switch ignition off, switch ignition on, check it's in neutral, and start like a van. So it started on the new key. Then we're going to press OK. So that's success, it's all finished. So I'm just going to test the other key. So that's the new key done. Get the customer's original key. Test this one. So ignition's on. See if it'll start. So that starts as well. So that's it, all done. Last thing to do is check the remote buttons. So that's lock, unlock. Test the new key, lock, unlock. So all that's working. All we need to do now is put the key in the key cutter machine, copy the cuts, cut it over onto a new blade, pop that in here, pop the screw in, and we're good to go. So the reason the other programmer, whoever the other locksmith, failed on this vehicle is very likely to be one of two things. There's only two things you could really get wrong on this. Is the battery voltage. If it's not good enough, it won't program. And the other thing is, remember it said to open and close the door once. So what some programmers might do, they might open and close the door, and then they might have put the battery support unit on and then left the door open because that menu didn't tend to close it again, therefore it would fail. So it might have been using a terrible tool as well, which could have also created an issue. This is a very good tool, the IM508 from Autel. There's a good range of vehicles. So there's a few things that you could get wrong that the previous Auto locksmith guy must have got wrong, as he couldn't program it. But yeah, if done right and if you follow the instructions, which are nice and easily guided, it gives you the pin, it programs the key, and it guides you through the full process. If you want to know more about the programmer, do any training courses with us on programming. We do practical examples, we do lock picking, key cutting, and EPROMing as well. So a good range of subjects covered in the courses. Check out our website, theobdcompany.co.uk. Thank you.